Changing data in FCS Express is really easy, and we have multiple ways to accomplish it. One of the easiest ways to change data in FCS Express is by clicking on the radio buttons in the data list. Here we can change our data between samples. Another option to changing your data is by using the Data tab. On the Data tab on the ribbon, you will see that you can change data on a selected plot, which is be highlighted by a border here, or you can change data on all objects. So if I do selected plot first, you'll see that my first plot will change to the next data files. If I use the second button with double arrows to change data on all objects, when I click the button, both my plots will be updating simultaneously. Another way that we can change our data is by using this iteration dropdown. By clicking on one, then all of our plots will revert back to displaying that first sample in our data set. Additionally, from our data list, if we double click, you'll see that we have double click action items. We can change base overlay on all objects to selected files, so anything that's being displayed on my layout will update with this new file. Overlays are just talking about our ability to add more than one file onto a plot. The base overlay is the first file that's being displayed on a plot. So if there's only one data file showing, that is also the base overlay. We can change overlays on all objects to selected file. We can change all overlays on selected objects. So again, like that first plot that's highlighted, that would only change the data file on that selected plot. We can change base overlays on all objects, so that would be everything everywhere. That is the default that showed first. We can change base overlay on selected objects to selected file. And then we can open a new plot with a selected file. We can also choose one of these and then check the box below, and then that selection will be remembered and we won't see this dialog each time that we're using the double click action. Because this plot is already showing sample 1, we're going to go ahead and cancel out of this window. And then I'm going to show you another way that we can change data on our plots. We can also just drag a sample from our data list and drop it onto a plot. That will also update our data files that we're displaying on our plots. One thing to notice is in our data list we have the ability to what we call deactivate an iteration, which means these are grayed out, so when I try to select them, they're not going to change. But if I select on a radio button for a sample that is still blue, activated, then it will change to that sample. So what this is telling us is that our data has become a little disconnected. Right now, our FCS Express is expecting to only be looking at one data file at a time. If you ever see this, it's okay. It's usually an easy fix. We can see clearly that these are different samples. So if I were just to drag my sample 3 onto that plot, it would restore all of my iterations. They're all very blue now. Or we can go to the View tab and look at our Data Navigator. This will tell us what samples are being used where. So if I were to accidentally disconnect somewhere, I can look at my samples and see where the disconnect is. This is very helpful if we're looking at multiple pages of data. So this is how you change your data in FCS Express. If you have any questions, please reach out. We are more than happy to help you with any questions that you may have. Thank you.